Hey guys, Sandy here, and today I'm going to be using my Brutus Monroe Saltwater Taffy Inspiration Box to scrapbook this photo from Pixar Pier in Disney's California Adventure. I'm also going to pull in some other fun products that I have, so let's see what I can do. Hey guys, this is the second time I am doing the voiceover for this project. The first time I was in the middle of it and started talking about an aqua pigment I was using and spilled it everywhere. So of course there's no video for that mess, but I just decided you did not need to hear me freaking out when I spilled the cotton candy cloud aqua pigment. It's a good thing that I picked it up right away because I did not spill a whole lot of it, but it was enough for me to freak out and have to redo the voiceover. Now I am using the card panel from the kit, and as you can see, I foiled that bad boy right on up. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but the card panels are all foilable. Like, they are all foilable. They are made with the toner ink, and the cool thing about this card panel is it was made with the toner ink and then also some gray ink. So part of the design is foiled and part of it is kind of like that shadowy gray effect, which I think is completely cool. Now I am pulling other Brutus Monroe products besides my box for the month, but you know, I think that is the beauty of getting a subscription box. You can kind of mix and match with the stuff that you already have. Now, I know that there has been some chatter about whether or not people prefer YouTube videos that are like one manufacturer or one designer, or if you like a bunch of just mixing up your stash videos. Now, I get great pleasure from mixing up my stash. As you guys know, I have kits that I use each month, but I also really get pleasure with just using one person's products. As you guys know, I am a Brutus Monroe fan, and I have been for a very long time, and I just love their stuff. I just love it, so that's what we're going to do. Now, this is the aqua pigment, and this is the moment in the first voiceover where I spilled it on my desk. So this is Cotton Candy Cloud, and I'm just kind of mixing it up. So what I've discovered with any of my aqua pigments, you know, the ones that have sparkle or the ones that are the kind of the creamies, sometimes they separate a little bit. And if I pull open the nozzle and just kind of squeeze it, it'll bring whatever has settled and like kind of bring back life into the aqua pigment. So I just spent some time squeezing the nozzle. Now I am using water and an acrylic, it's not even a block, it's like an acrylic flat piece. And I'm just going to use this to kind of make a little bit of mixed media here on the background. And first I was just going to do it lightly, and then I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna smush that bad boy down and make things happen. I'm not doing anything that has like a super technical technique or anything like that on it. I am just kind of smushing around the ink. Now, there is no gesso or anything on this paper, so the ink color is not going to move around a lot on the paper. It's kind of going to sink into where I have it. And I'm okay with that. If I want it to really like create swirly colors and blend things in, I would have used a different paper or put some gesso down. But like I said, I'm just putting this color down. I just want this color down on the page so that my white cardstock isn't so stark white. I do have to say I have been using a lot more white cardstock than I usually do. And I think that's because my mixed media game has really stepped up. And I don't mean like skill-wise, I mean like I am just doing a lot more mixed media than I used to. And I like doing mixed media on white because I like how it pops. So I get that down. I'm just going to position my little photo cluster kind of thing right here just so I can see where it's coming out, and I'm liking the way that this is looking so far. Like I like the mixed media behind it. I'm definitely digging it. Now I'm just trying to figure out what in the world I'm going to do with the rest of the layout. I wish I could just slap this in an album and call it done. But this is not done. Not by my standards. I just feel like I have a lot more to do. So I was looking through my stencils. I found this one right here, and I thought, oh, it would be awesome if I put these glazes through here. Like, this would be great. And I'm thinking, okay, so I'm gonna hang this stencil out here. I'm gonna see if, if I can picture it in my mind. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to cut some of this glitter stock out so that my photos have a place to rest and they aren't just kind of like floating around in this pink splotchy abyss that is the background. So I like this. I like the glitter. I am definitely feeling it. I'm like, yes, I definitely need to bring in the other glitter as well. I really like the pink and the blue together. I'm just trying to figure out like what in the world I am going to do with this. Now I think about these wax papers. I'm like, maybe I'm going to alter these, give it a little bit of fun, but I don't. I don't do that. I just push those off to the side and go back to my mixed media idea here, which really isn't even a fully formed idea yet. It's still kind of percolating in the back of my mind, which is why I haven't just gone and done it. So as you can see, my paper is wet because, like I said, there's nothing protecting the paper. The water and the wetness just soaked right into it. And now I'm just like, I am struggling here, you guys. Like, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. If this was paper where I'm putting this stencil down, that would have been no big deal. I just would have made it happen. But it's not paper. It's a stencil. And then this is the red ATG gun, so it does its thing where it just likes to roll in on top of itself sometimes. So I just have to fix that. Again, just the red one, not the pink one, drives me insane. It's like, I don't know if it's giving up. I've had it for years and years and years. Who knows? But look, I'm still messing around with this stencil. Do you guys do that? Do you know you want to do something, but you just don't commit to it yet? You're still kind of like, what do I do? Like, is this really what I want to do? Is this really how we're gonna do this? But apparently, I finally get my act together, and it is going to be really how I do that. I grab some purple tape and put that down, and then I just really do a poor job at pushing this Velveteen Glaze through the stencil. Now, Velveteen Glaze is a medium that when you put it on, it looks all wet and shiny, but when you let it dry, it does dry into a matte kind of velveteen finish. It is definitely not as soft as flock, but it still has that kind of flocky. I really have a hard time describing it. I call it like a flocky feel, but it's not tight. It's tighter and it's soft, and it's not as soft as flock. That just made like a whole lot of sense. So you are probably thinking, ooh, Sandy, your words are not even coming out of your mouth correctly. And you're right. My brain has not caught up with how fast my mouth is moving this morning. So yeah, so as you can see, my Velveteen Glaze got underneath of the stencil, and usually I don't mind that. Usually I'm like, yes, we just added more of that medium on there and we're gonna work with it. But this time I was like, this isn't really turning out how I want it to. So I grabbed a paper towel and I'm just kind of blotting it out and kind of making a purple splotch on my paper. And it looks pretty pathetic right now because, there's just some splotch. But I figured since I had splotch at the top, I needed to bring the splotch to the bottom. So I just keep grabbing some of it and putting it down here on the bottom as well. And I am just like, what is wrong with you, Sandy? You are just screwing this up so bad. But, I am feeling the vintage feels where I used to do kind of the paint texture effect with plastic bags and paper towels and all that stuff when you paint your walls. So that was fun. Like bringing back that was fun because I think I've talked about this before, but I had a bedroom in where's the first time I did it? In Delaware City. When we lived in Delaware, I had this gorgeous wallpaper, and it was on the bottom half, and it had this gorgeous border, and then I texture painted the top, and it was, oh my heavens, it was so beautiful and so romantical. Yes, I know romantical isn't a real word. In case you haven't figured it out, I kind of like do my own thing with words here. I just miss it. And I think I'm kind of like missing it right now because I'm ready to change my comforter in my bedroom. I want something soft and romantical. We've got kind of like this vintagey, industrial kind of look going on in our bedroom, and I've got a blue comforter, and I just want something soft and like pale and creamy and pink. I think that the softness and the vintage and the industrial kind of like will look really good together. Okay, anyway, I've been talking about my bed and not talking about the layout. So I layered up a few things. I used some ribbon from the kit just to break up that big old expanse of glitter cardstock. I used a title that has been in my stash forever. Snapped on a little bit of the blue Velveteen glaze on top of my purple splotch. So I still got kind of that stencil texture effect that I wanted to do. I built a little cluster up at the top with the ribbon again. I'm treating the ribbon like a label up here, you guys. And then just pulled in some little things from my stash. These hearts, these labels, these little like word phrase label stickers that I got here from my Tim Holtz book. It's things like "A dream is a wish your heart makes," and "Those who don't believe in magic will never find it." I added some sequins, and that is going to do it for this layout. Thanks for listening to me ramble and run my mouth this morning. I will see you guys again real soon for another video.